Hey everyone, welcome back to chapter 3 of Just Got Fired. Before we get into the actual topics for today, I just want to share with you something that my daughter and I created. So we were working together because now apparently I'm working with my daughter. We had some time and we created this beautiful masterpiece of a logo for the YouTube channel. Now, you can barely tell that it wasn't created by a professional. She's pretty good. And about the colors that we picked, she said that beige is the most beautiful brown color of all time, and I tend to agree. Why am I telling you this at all? Basically, the reason here is that my daughter and I created something together, and we had fun doing it. So yeah, it's just another fun part of being home, being able to do this, and having a common project to work on. Life is short, make the most of it. Anyway, today we're going to talk about a couple of unrelated things, but they're things that we need to just kind of get out of the way before we start talking about other stuff like interviewing and things like that. So number one, I just want to tell you a few thoughts about how to deal with all the overwhelming support that is coming your way. And number two, how to structure your day so that you get stuff done. All right, so let's do this. Number one, how to deal with the overwhelming support that you're either getting right now because you've told a bunch of people and perhaps even the world. Please forgive me if this sounds like a humble brag. It's not meant to be at all. If you followed my suggestion in the last video to tell everybody about your layoff, you're either currently getting or about to get quite a bit of support. And people will send you links to jobs. They'll send you personal and professional email addresses of people who have jobs to give. You'll get calls from people that you haven't talked to in a while, and so on. Right? It's going to pile on, really. And that was really the point of telling people. That was the point of telling the world. And here's the thing: people love to help others. It's a natural thing, right? People love to help others, despite what you hear to the contrary. You might hear that nobody likes to help others. Helping others is overrated, whatever. People love to help others. It's a universal rule. If you ask 10 people for help, at least one of them will offer help of some sort. And I've linked a short article on this phenomenon in the video description, so check that out and read it. It's not super long. It'll take maybe 5 minutes to go through it. Now, how do you deal with all of it? Okay, so because there's going to be a lot, how do you deal with this, right? These are well-meaning messages, but the truth is, a lot of the time, what is being sent your way isn't really what you want to do, right? People are trying to be helpful. For instance, my mom sent me something that I have absolutely no experience or desire to do, but she still sent it to me, right? So it shows that she cares, but at the same time, I need to be nice about it. My recommendation here is that you say thank you, and you mean it, right? Just say thank you to everybody who is offering to help. It doesn't matter if you're going to pursue their suggestion or not. That person took the time out of their day to do you a favor, right? Thank them for their effort. Don't tell them why the position that they shared or whatever opportunity is not a good fit. Don't tell them that you want to take a break for a few weeks or months. Don't tell them that you want to focus on a completely different area or that you're going back to school. Because if you do that, my gut feeling is that they'll be less likely to help the next time you need it, right? So just say thank you. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I will look to see if this is a good fit for my skills and goals, right? That covers it. That's it. That's all you have to say. And really, if you're not interested, you don't have to do anything else. Right? Okay, we're good? Okay, let's move on then. For number two, how to structure your day so that you get stuff done. This overwhelming support that you're getting now will eventually dwindle, right? People will see your messages, they'll get your calls, etc. But within a few weeks, they'll forget all about you. Right? Don't take it personally. It just happens. And at this point, you likely won't have found a job or another source of income by the time the support dwindles, right? So hopefully you followed some of the leads that were shared with you, right? Something that was interesting. And you have some opportunities in the pipeline. You've applied for some jobs and so on. Now, if you're taking some time off to pursue other areas or hobbies, I still suggest that you structure your day, right? Because you will need to focus on those things that you want to focus on. And in order to do that, you'll need some structure. My recommendation here is to really think about what keeps you on track, right? I can tell you what keeps me on track, but that doesn't mean that that's what keeps you on track. So for me personally, it's just setting up my calendar, right? If I have a calendar that's set up, and you probably heard it now in the background, it keeps me going, right? For you, it may be something else, but it's important to define and figure out what it is that keeps you focused and motivated and on track and productive, right? Now, once you figure that out, it's time to put that into action and create some sort of structure. What I do is I use my Outlook calendar to structure my day in such a way that is both relaxing and productive, right? I don't want to be, burning myself out with this stuff when I'm unemployed. I want to be relaxed, but at the same time, I want to be productive, right? So I put in family time, I put in fitness time, I put in lunch time, I put in hobby time, and work time in my calendar. If you have structure, if you have this kind of structure in your day, you will continue to be motivated to keep doing those things. And then that will, result in positive things in the long term. When you have something to do and you do that thing and you check it off a list, your brain gives you a little rush of dopamine, right? That you did something good. You get a little reward. This is positive reinforcement. And you will want to do it again, just to get that dopamine rush again, right? This is how the Pavlovian response works. This is how we train, dogs and other animals. Positive reinforcement, little dopamine rush, a little bit of pleasure, right? So putting the item on the list, doing the item, checking it off the list. Whatever way works for you, you need to do this though, right? So doing this thing, crossing it off the list, will make you want to do the thing again and again and again. And building up that structure and making small incremental progress each day, and then eventually that will lead, to the end where we have done a whole bunch of stuff, right? Because doing little things incrementally add up to a bunch of big things, right? There's a famous quote by Desmond Tutu, and he said, "There's only one way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time," right? And I'm gonna link that that article that mentions the quote also in the description below. Right. All right. To continue this thought, right? You won't find a job, or you won't start a business, or you won't become perfect in one thing, or you won't, gain knowledge or enough knowledge in a certain area in a single day. So why would you block like 8 hours to get that thing done, right? If you vary your schedule in a way that works for you, you are much more likely to do something instead of having, okay, for the next 8 hours, I'm going to work on this one thing. You're going to lose focus midway through. Personally, I like 1 to 2 hour blocks. I find that amount of time to be enough to concentrate on one thing without the thing becoming boring. In 1 hour, I can search for jobs that interest me, find 1 or 2 that are really close to my skills, create customized resumes for each one, and then apply to each one. And then the next hour, I'll switch it up and, maybe work on a project I've been putting off, like acting or fitness. Now, of course, you can take more time if you need for each of these tasks, right? I'm just giving you an example. For the last video that I created, the chapter 2 video, I spent about 3 hours putting it together. That includes writing the script, recording, and editing, and it took 3 hours. The point is that I scheduled it. I put in only 2 hours in my calendar. It turned out it took a little bit longer, and that's okay. So I want to leave you with this thought: do what works for you, either by trial and error if you don't know, or use an existing system that you found to be successful in the past, right? But the point is, structure your day as if you are working, right? Pretend this is your job. This is what you're doing. So I'm done for today. This is half the length of the last video. I'm trying to get, kind of like shorter videos to keep things focused. So I want you to go start working on those 2 things. that we covered today. So dealing with the overwhelming sport and creating some structure in your day, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you like this video.